welcome back to my channel. So this is Modesty33 here, aka Crystal with the C. Right back at you with another video, but if you're new to my channel, you just happen to click on, welcome. I try to put out 1 to 2 videos a week. I do sit downs, reviews, reactions, vlogs. So if any of that interests you, make sure you check out the prior videos on my channel. And if you see anything you like before you leave, make sure you subscribe, you guys. It's completely free. I want to put that out there again. So some of y'all keep watching, but y'all ain't subscribed, but it's free. So go ahead and hit that red button below and subscribe to the channel. So today, you guys, I'm going to be, I don't know, this video was something I actually wanted to do back in February, but with doing the vlogging time, it kind of got pushed by the wayside, but it was just back in my mind today to really film this video, put this out here. And I just want to have like a little chit chat discussion about my opinion about certain things that I see. So the title of this video is Don't Believe the Hype. And it's a discussion about luxury bags. So I'm going to be discussing a few different things, a few different ideas as it relates to luxury bags. This is in no way one of those videos where I'm bashing luxury bags, because clearly if you look at videos on my channel, I own luxury bags. I love luxury bags. So it's not one of those videos, and I have a few different bags I'm going to be talking about. Actually 5 different ones I'm going to be discussing. But I wanted to talk about a few things before I actually discuss these 5 bags in particular. So I do have some notes, you guys, so I will be kind of referring to that just so we can stay on track and so the video is not like a Lifetime movie. So anyway, and I wanted to discuss the 5 different bags I'm going to discuss. You probably see about 3 of them in the thumbnail. I don't know how you guys like hold up multiple bags, because that was just, I'm like almost sweating. That was kind of a difficult thing to do. And because one of those bags I'm actually using right now too, so it was fully stuffed. So yeah, that was a little difficult. But anyway, guys, so with each of these bags, I really want to discuss the fallacy behind the idea. And when I say fallacy, fallacy essentially means the false or untrue idea that I'm not going to buy a particular handbag or a particular luxury handbag because, quote unquote, everyone else has that bag. So that's kind of one of the things I wanted to discuss with this particular video, because it's just been crossing my mind. And even as I see different YouTube videos, and even when people put out different videos about luxury handbags or even about their own luxury collection, and they do an unboxing and they're like, oh, well, everybody else has this bag, so I'm the last one to get it, or I'm the only one who doesn't have the bag. And I don't think that people say that necessarily, that they necessarily mean that statement, but sometimes people believe, who are watching and who are consuming that information may in fact believe that. So that might deter you from wanting a particular bag, because you might falsely or mistakenly believe that everyone else has the bag, so therefore I don't want the bag, or it's too common, or you know, it's just oversaturated. That's another term that people might use. So I just kind of want to dispel some of those beliefs anyway. So I just want to discuss a few different things. So the first thing I want to talk about, as far as why I believe that that's a false thing, as far as like the feeling or the idea that everybody has particular popular or trending handbags, that you as a, you know, someone who's watching, you may be thinking about the bag. And this is again just for people who are thinking about purchasing a particular bag. And you again just feel like, no, I don't want to get that bag because everybody else has that bag. I see everybody else on YouTube or Instagram or whatever have that bag. That bag is too common, oversaturated, you know, it's played out. I see everybody with it. So that's just for really those particular people who have that particular mindset. Now, if you might see a bag and you don't want it, that's your prerogative. You don't want it. That's cool. Everybody has a right to their own opinion. But I'm specifically kind of making this video for those particular people who feel that way. So just want to clarify that before I get started. So the number one reason why I believe it's false to believe that everyone has a particular handbag is, number one, everybody's not into luxury. So, and the thing is, you guys, like if you're on Instagram or if you're on YouTube, you may not know, or you may not realize that, or even Facebook, other social media outlets, that a lot of these outlets kind of record certain keywords you type in or certain searches you make. So when you make certain searches, especially like luxury handbags, and I've noticed that especially on YouTube, when you do certain searches, like automatically there are certain things that will come up in your timeline. So, and then if you continue to click on those things, then you'll get even more of those recommendations or their recommended videos. So that actually might be how some of you found this video. So I'm glad you're here. If you found me through like your recommendations because you do happen to like reviews on luxury bags, I'm glad you're here. So, yeah, so you might see a lot of those videos come up. And so, again, if you consume a lot of that and you watch a lot of those videos, it may make it seem like that, again, everybody has particular handbags, but the fact of the matter is everybody's not into luxury. Everybody does not like luxury. People spend their money in different ways. So everyone doesn't have particular bags because everybody is not into luxury. Like, there's a certain population of people who are into luxury, but that in no way represents the larger population of people in general. So that's the number one reason I would say that that's a false belief that everyone has certain bags, because everybody's not into luxury. So everybody is not going to have a particular trending or it bag. So that's the number one reason. And I think social media plays a big part and a big reason why we believe that, because again, like with social media and what we call influencers are there, again, they have a particular job, and it's to influence you to make certain purchases. So, and to influence you in a particular mindset or ideology. So, you know, social media is a really big driving force behind luxury and luxury items, luxury handbags, because to be honest, you guys, I happened to watch like one video from one YouTuber like 3-4 years ago, and she's not even a luxury YouTuber, but she had one luxury bag. And I saw the bag. I had no idea what the bag was. It was a Louis Vuitton bag, but I had no idea what it was. I just knew I really liked that particular bag. Then, you know, I just started researching and seeing this whole world of luxury. So, but if I hadn't been on social media, if I hadn't been on YouTube, I might not have even had that exposure to a Louis Vuitton handbag or a Chanel handbag or any other popular branded handbag, Gucci, Prada, Fendi. I wouldn't have known anything about it if I had not been exposed to social media. So I actually only got into luxury back in 2016. Before then, I had no interest in luxury, to be honest. So that's what I'm saying. Like, everybody's not into luxury, and really it's the rise of social media a lot of times that causes people to have some type of interest or intrigue into luxury. So yeah, that's the first point. I'm not going to belabor that. Hopefully that makes sense. So again, everybody's not into luxury. So that's the number one reason. Number two, even people who are into luxury or who might watch videos or like particular videos, they're not going to have certain it bags or certain trending bags because for a very like, for really the reason that the practicality reason, as far as they may not be able to afford it. So just because you might like luxury, you might like to watch people's unboxings, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going out and buying everything that, you know, someone else has, or because they recommend it, because it just might not be in your budget. It really might not be where you are financially at the time where you can go out and buy a such and such $1,000 handbag or a luxury good accessory. So yeah, everybody doesn't have certain it bags because they can't afford it. So, and that's not trying to be funny, or it's just a fact of life. Like, there was a time I couldn't afford it, and there are certain things even where I am now that I cannot afford. So therefore I don't go out and buy them, or, you know, I might make a plan if I want to purchase a particular thing. So that's just a fact of life. That's not me, you know, trying to berate anybody or belittle anybody. If you can't afford it, you can't afford it. That's just the bottom line. We all were in that place, or at least I've been in that place. Couldn't afford it. I am a single woman, so you got to be wise about, you know, the choices you make in your life. So again, that's another reason why everybody doesn't have certain handbags that you might think or see through social media. They can't afford it. So that's number two. And hopefully, again, that makes sense and nobody felt like they were being belittled by that statement. But that's just, again, the facts. That's facts. And number three is kind of the last reason I want to say that, you know, again, I don't believe that everybody has these it bags that we're, you know, always talking about. The other thing is, even the people who can afford to buy luxury, so even if you've gotten past the fact that, number one, we don't, you know, there are people who aren't into luxury, they don't like luxury, they don't know anything about luxury. Number two, even if you know about luxury, you may not be able to afford it. You may not be financially in that place or in that position. What I'm trying to essentially say is that even if you buy these particular bags, the circle of people, depending on the circle of people you're around, they probably don't have these handbags. Like, I'm just going to speak for me. Like, I live in South Carolina and I like luxury. I'm into luxury, but my circle of friends aren't into luxury. My family aren't into luxury. They're only into luxury as much as you buy it for them. Yeah, they into it then. If I go and buy my mom a luxury bag or give her one of my bags, yeah, she's into it then. But other than that, she could care less about it unless you're going to give it to her. So that's the thing too. The people that we interact with, even the people you go to work with, you may go to school with, you know, any type of interaction you go to church with, or any organizations in the community you're a part of, they aren't necessarily people who buy luxury or into luxury either. So you still might be in the minority of your circle of friends, because I certainly am as far as luxury is concerned. So you have to think of it that way as well. So even if you see a lot of people, you know, through YouTube, you can subscribe to 50, 100, 200 people on YouTube who are all into luxury. Unless you know those people personally and you're around them at all, like, I mean, like, again, they can have you guys can both have the exact same bag, but you will never, they're not in your circle, so you'll never actually see or meet that person. The only interaction you will have with them is through their YouTube videos or their Instagram or their media outlets. So again, you have to keep that in mind, that like the 50 or 100, 200 people you're subscribed to on YouTube are not representative of the population as a whole, for number one. And then it's not representative of the people that you actually hang around with. So you have to keep that in mind as well. So now I want to get into the handbags. We're like 12 minutes in. So I want to go ahead and get into the handbags and kind of discuss a few things regarding those. And again, these are kind of bags that I would say are very popular. They're trending. They're kind of like it bags, so to speak. Maybe not necessarily now, but they have been trending and they have been it bags. But I think a lot of these are still, you know, classics, things that people desire, they want to get when they're starting luxury collections. They're definitely bags that people hear about a good bit. And some of them are still, like, even if you go to the store, they're sold out or they're difficult to acquire. So these are just the bags that I brought out and I wanted to discuss with you guys. So number one is my beloved Palm Springs mini backpack. I'm not going to get into the whole story behind this bag, but I will say that I've had this bag since January. This particular bag since January. I did have another one. It was defective. I bought that one almost a year ago now. It was Memorial Day weekend of last year, 2018. Now, in the time that I was aware of this bag, I think this bag has been out since 2015. If I'm not mistaken, if I am, somebody please correct me below, but I think it's been out at least about 2 or 3 years. So in the time that this bag has been out, the first time I actually saw this bag in person was June of 2017. And I remember because I went to London, England with some friends from church. So when I was in London, it was actually the first time I saw anybody carrying this bag. And I think at that point, again, if the bag had been out since 2015, 2017 is 2 years. So the first time after this bag was released, if I'm not mistaken anyway, as far as the 2015, the first time that I saw this bag was 2 years after it was released, and it was in a different country. So yeah, I saw this bag 2017 for the first time. The second time I saw it in person was, I think, the end of 2017 or maybe the beginning of 2018, when I went to work and I saw, like, there was maybe a CNA or a nurse who had this bag, but she had the World Tour edition. So it's 2 times that I've seen this bag in person in the 3-4 years it's been released. So I've never seen anybody else like carry this bag. I live in South Carolina for reference too. I've never seen anybody else like carry this bag in anywhere I visited, because I live in South Carolina, but I do travel to different places. I do visit different places, different cities, all of that jazz. So I've never seen anybody in that time carry this bag. So I don't live in California. I don't live in Miami or like some of those bigger cities. So yeah, in some of those bigger places, you may see this bag more, but just where I live and in my circle of people and friends, I've never seen this bag. I've seen it 2 times in, yeah, like the 3-4 years it's been released. Except if I've been into a Louis Vuitton store, of course, because that's where they sell the product. So just want to put that out there. So if you're thinking about the Louis Vuitton Palm Springs Mini, like unless you live in one of those really big cities, I highly doubt you're going to see people walking around like every other person walking around carrying a Palm Springs Mini. Even though the bag is sold out, it's very difficult to acquire through Louis Vuitton. I don't know where those people are who are carrying this bag. Again, maybe they're in those major cities, but they're not here in South Carolina. They're not in any of the other places I visited within the state. They're not in Texas when I visited. They're not in Florida, like North Florida anyway. I'm going to put that out there when I visited. Maybe they're in South Florida, in California, Nevada, Las Vegas, New York. Maybe they're in those places, but again, I don't live in those places, so I don't see anyone carrying this bag. So that's the first bag I wanted to talk about and discuss. And you see here, I do have like a bandeau on here. So if you are one of those people who maybe live in California, or you live in Miami or New York, or in some of those places where you do see a lot of people wear this particular bag, the options you have are you can dress your bag up. It can be different from everybody else's bag. This is a Louis Vuitton Appareil bandeau. I put it on the handle. I've also put my Louis Vuitton Stephen Sprouse Leopard bandeau on the handle before. So that just kind of dresses up the bag and it makes it look a little different and unique. So just an idea, if you want to do that with your bag. I'm actually wanting to get like a bag charm to put on the zippers. And dress it up even more than the way it is now. But you know, even with just the bandeau, it just makes the bag look a little bit lighter, and you know, it's just different. So that's an idea too, if you are one of those people who happen to have like maybe your circle of friends, you know, everybody got a Palm Springs Mini. I don't know. There ain't nobody I know, but so I can only speak for me. So the second bag I want to talk about, which is also a very popular bag, is the Louis Vuitton Pochette Metis. So I got this bag June of 2017. This is one of the bags I did get from London, England. And I happened to get the Empriente version because, like a lot of other people, the monogram is very popular. It's sold out a lot of places. And this again is the Empriente in the color Cherise, which is again like a tomato red. So like I ended up getting the Empriente in 2017, and I think that was the first year that the Empriente was released. So I decided I wanted to get an Empriente because I was like, yeah, you know, it's probably different than everybody else's who has the Pochette Metis, who has the monogram. You know, I want to get the leather version. It's, you know, can be dressed up, I felt like, more than the monogram version could, and you can also dress it down, wear it daily. So I ended up getting this particular bag. Since I've gotten this bag, again, I got this bag 2017. I don't know what year the Pochette Metis was released. Somebody who knows that below, who's watching, please put that below. Since got this bag again 2017, since the Pochette Metis was released, I'm trying to think of how many times I've actually seen this bag in person. I've seen someone else carrying an Empriente, a black Empriente, probably last year or within the past 6 months, and I saw it and I was like, oh, that's so cool. There's somebody else who has a Pochette Metis and they have an Empriente version. So I've never seen the monogram in person to my knowledge, and I've only seen the Empriente version one time. And again, I've owned this bag since 2017, saw it on social media a whole long time even before that. So again, living here in South Carolina and even in other places I visited, I think maybe when I went to London, I maybe did see somebody carry the monogram version of the Pochette Metis. I'm pretty certain I did. But so that probably was the first time I saw it in person. But other than that, yeah, like I've never seen anybody carry this bag except for the one time that I went, you know, downtown and I saw somebody carrying a black Empriente version. So this is the bag right here. So if you are one of those people who you see the monogram everywhere, think about getting an Empriente version. Think about getting a bandeau. This is my Stephen Sprouse Leopard bandeau that I was referring to before. You can put a bandeau on the handle. You can get a different color. They have a lot of different versions of the Pochette Metis now. So if you feel like that the monogram is played out, You can still get the bag if you like the bag for the functionality purposes of it, because it is a very functional bag. And you can get like the Empriente, or you can get one of the special edition versions or limited edition versions with certain collections that's a bit different than just a plain monogram. So I just want to put that out there as well. But I love this bag just like I love my Palm Springs mini. So definitely glad I got both of those. Now, the third bag I want to talk about is, and I've talked about this one a good bit of times on the channel, and this one is the one I'm actually using, so it's heavy because it's got all my stuff in it. But this is my Chanel Jumbo double flap caviar leather silver hardware, as you can see. Again, it's got all my stuff in here, so it's a bit heavy, you guys. But yeah, like I got this bag October of 2018, and I've been, you know, this bag is a classic to Chanel. A lot of people have it in different, well, yeah, a lot of people have it. They have the vintage ones, they have the newer ones. Since I had knowledge of the bag, because again, I wasn't paying attention to people's bags before I got into luxury. So you have to keep that in mind as far as, like 2016 is when I got into luxury, when I kind of learned about Chanel. I didn't know anything about Chanel before. But since 2016, and that's where I'm basing as far as, you know, how frequently I've seen certain bags, is from the time period of 2016. So since 2016, I have seen people actually carry this bag. I remember seeing somebody carry this bag in Charleston, South Carolina. And Charleston is a bigger city in South Carolina. You know, a very kind of touristy city. So, yeah, I did see somebody carry the bag in Charleston, and they had the gold hardware. I remember that. I'm trying to think of if I've seen this bag anywhere else. I don't even remember seeing this bag in London. I did see a lot of Louis Vuitton bags in London. I didn't really see many Chanel bags. Let's see. I definitely have not seen any Chanel bags here, like not like classic flat bags. So yeah, I don't see anyone carry anything Chanel here. Like I really can't say, and I would. That's pretty much expected, because Chanel is like a higher price point than most like Louis Vuitton bags or even other luxury brands. So that's kind of expected. So yeah, like it's a classic, but it's a classic everybody can't afford. Everybody can't, you know, add to their collection. So yeah, like I've never seen, I've only seen one time someone carried this bag. That was probably I would say about 2 years ago in Charleston. Yeah, when I went to visit. So yeah, that's the last time I saw the Chanel Jumbo. And with all these price increases, I probably won't be seeing it hardly anymore. So unless you bought one, you know, before, you know, unless you bought one, you know, some time ago, I probably won't be seeing a whole lot of them. So the next bag I want to talk about is a bit of an exception. And you probably may know about this bag. So this is the Louis Vuitton Neverfull GM. This is my GM, and this is in the Damier Ebene pattern. Again, it is the biggest one, the GM. So with this particular bag, this is the exception, because yeah, everybody do got this bag. No, I'm just playing. So but a lot of people do have this bag. I'm not gonna say everyone, because again, like we discussed, everybody's not in the luxury. Even if you're in the luxury, that doesn't mean that like you're gonna go out there, run out there and buy it. And then even for the people who go out there and buy it, like, you know, they might not be in your circles. So yeah, because again, like I said, everybody, you know, is not able to afford luxury. But this is a very common bag, just because it is on the more affordable, I would say, as far as the price point of entry level like luxury handbags. And then it's a tote. A lot of people have use of totes, you know, can use totes for varying reasons, baby bags, to the beach, for work. So this is a very popular bag. So you do see a lot of people carry it. I've seen this bag quite frequently here in South Carolina with the MM, the GM, even the PM. So I wouldn't say I encounter this bag on a daily basis, but I do see a good bit more people wear this bag. So being that is the case, I would say that with the Neverfull, if you really wanted this bag, but you're like, man, it's so common, it's so basic, so many people have it. You're right, a lot of people do have it, so I will admit that. But you have a few different options if you know, still want the Neverfull, but you feel like, man, it's played out, everybody has the bag. So I might be reading off of my little notes because I'm trying to wrap up, y'all. This is a long video. But and it's a popular bag because, again, it's a tote. It is a very useful, practical bag that Louis Vuitton makes. It's durable, so it's not a bag. This particular bag in the Damier bean, it is resistant to rain and water spots, unlike the monogram version that has the Pochette leather and the Damier Azur that also has the Pochette leather. So the thing is, I would say that with this particular bag, you do have, again, a few different options if you like this particular bag. Number one, you can suck it up and just buy the bag anyway. Even though, you know, your mama, your grandmama, your cousin and them, they might have the bag or they might buy the bag after you buy yours. Suck it up and wear it anyway. If you like it, wear it. Bottom line. So number two, if you like, man, but everybody got the bag, I don't really know how I feel about that. Number two is you can kind of do like what I did here. I have a bandeau. Like I was saying before with a lot of my bags, I put bandeaus and things on them just to kind of dress them up and to make them more unique and make them more of mine. So this is a Louis Vuitton Pop Confidential bandeau. I think it's in the color Fushia. So let me bring this a little bit closer. So I do have it on one of the straps here. So it just brings a little bit of brightness to this particular bag. Also, I have like some kind of like little bag charms here. These are all just kind of like charms from my different travels. One is from Houston, Texas. One is from London when I went to go see my favorite Broadway musical, Wicked. And the other one is a little football from Dallas, Texas. So, and then this is just a hand sanitizer. So you can dress up your bag. You can make it very unique and special to, you know, just whatever you're sentimental about. You can do that with your bag as well. They do have these little, you know, clips here where you can clip things on that are also on the front and the back. So you can do that with the bag as well if you really want this bag, but you don't want it to look like everybody else's bag. So I'm sorry, y'all, this bag is just like really big. So the other thing that you can do is you can choose to get a Neverfull from a limited limited edition collection that Louis Vuitton will sometimes release. Like they just had one with the giant monogram. I mean, I think those bags are like cute, those Neverfulls, but I mean, on a day-to-day basis, it's a little bit too loud for me. I wouldn't buy that. But if you really want a Neverfull, you want it to look different, think about that. Think about getting a Neverfull from a limited edition collection that Louis Vuitton releases. So then you'll have the functionality of a Neverfull, but it'll look different from anybody else's. So that's another option you have as well. So, and then I want to talk about one more bag, you guys, and that's having to do again with the Neverfull. So if you say that, okay, like, yeah, I could do all those things, but again, I still don't know, you know, again, the Neverfull is just like, again, it might really bother you that it's everywhere. You can choose to get another bag that is very similar as far as like, you know, having the same functionality as a Neverfull, but being a different style of bag that's not so common. So for that, you can get, this is my Louis Vuitton Noe that I've done a few different videos about here on the channel. So it is very similar to the Neverfull GM in the sense that it has the same functionality. I would say probably more similar to like the MM as far as the size is concerned, the things you can fit in it. But yeah, like I can still fit a lot of stuff that I would need for work from my GM into this Louis Vuitton Noe. This is the GM, it is the original, and it is truly a classic to Louis Vuitton because I believe this bag was made in 1933 as opposed to the Neverfull that was like, I think the Neverfull came out in like 2007, 11. No, not 11. I think the Neverfull is at least about 10 to 12 years old. So yeah, I think the Neverfull came out about like the 2007 range. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Like just If you know when the Neverfull came out, put it below. But I know it's not as old as the Noe. So the Noe is like a true classic to Louis Vuitton. So, you know, if you just look at it, it is an open tote just like the Neverfull. It's not as open as the Neverfull, so you do probably have a little bit more security. You do have this drawstring closure on the front, but this is like what the bag looks like on the inside. You can pull the drawstring and again, like kind of, you know, put it closed so that it's not so, your items aren't so accessible as opposed to like how they are in the Neverfull. So you can do that. It does have a thicker strap, you know, carrying it on your shoulder, so it is very comfortable. And like, you know, I have this other strap right here. You can dress it up. So that's also another option. This is, you know, a little bit, you can get this bag pre-loved and it's a little bit less expensive than the Neverfull. If you're also worried about price, you can get these pre-loved for a good rate and, you know, in pretty good condition. So I would highly recommend this too if you want something else that has the functionality of the Neverfull, but it's not the Neverfull because you feel like it's played out. So those are all the bags I really wanted to talk about, and ultimately that's pretty much all I wanted to discuss in this video. I'm sorry the video's so long, you guys, but I just wanted to get all those points out there. I really wanted to talk about that for a while. So ultimately though, I do believe that you should buy whatever you would like to buy for yourself, whatever you want to add into your collection, even if it's trending, if it's popular. Just keep those things that I discussed in mind before when you're wanting to make a decision about a bag. Don't buy a bag that's influenced by other people's decisions. If you feel like the bag is going to work for you, you know, again, you know, weigh the pros and cons and go ahead and purchase that bag. So if you can afford it as well. So of course. But and don't, you know, again, don't believe the hype behind the bags. Very, you know, definitely steer clear of that. Really, you should be using YouTube and different influencers and videos as, you know, a way to kind of look at the pros and cons of particular bags. But it shouldn't really necessarily, if you really want a bag, it shouldn't necessarily deter you just because you see that person has the bag or you see 50 or 100 other people on YouTube or social media that have the bag. Because it's in no way, again, representative of the people that you hang around, that, you know, are in your day-to-day life that you interact with. So again, guys, hopefully that video was helpful. I know, again, it was long, but I really appreciate it if you did last to the end of this video. But if you did like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you do share this video with anyone else who may like, you know, kind of some of these discussions about luxury handbags and luxury in general. Also, make sure you do comment below. Let me know what you guys think about this particular issue or topic, what your experiences have been since you've been on YouTube. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in my very next video. Bye, guys.